The notifications hit, the timelines froze. For 18 months, the fandom held its breath, but then the photos leaked. In an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down.
It wasn't just a trend either. It was a digital earthquake, like a perfect storm of intense anticipation, strict military secrecy, and just sheer visual shock.
Exactly. Welcome to StarScope K-Report. Join us as we ride the Hallyu Wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major updates.
Yeah, from internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
And today, we are taking a deep dive into a really fascinating stack of sources. We are unpacking the explosive military era and the grand discharge of BTS's RM and V.
It's honestly such a fascinating case study. You're looking at two of the most famous men on the planet, right? Completely stripped of their usual superstar infrastructure.
Right.
And they're navigating one of the most regimented environments on Earth. But somehow they manage to generate just as much global conversation from inside their units as they do on a massive world tour.
Oh, totally. And to really understand how they pulled this off, you have to look at how they entered the system. Back in December 2023, RM and V didn't just, quietly enlist and keep their heads down.
No, not at all.
They both graduated from their 5-week basic training as elite trainees, earning top honors. And I want to pause on that because for you listening, getting top honors in the South Korean military isn't just a participation trophy.
Right, it's incredibly rare.
It requires top-tier marksmanship, intense physical endurance, and flawless evaluations.
And that elite status actually dictated their assignments. So RM was placed in the military band of the 15th Infantry Division, based in Hwacheon. And V, on the other hand, was assigned to the Special Duty Team, or the SDT, under the 2nd Corps Military Police in Chuncheon.
Okay, let's break down what the SDT actually is, because I think a lot of international fans hear military police and just picture someone checking IDs at a gate.
Yeah, that is a huge misconception.
Right. The SDT is an anti-terrorism unit. They are the tactical elite. We're talking about close quarters combat, VIP protection, and, rappelling out of helicopters.
Exactly. The physical demands of the SDT are just staggering. They train in heavy tactical gear, and the caloric burn and muscle building required just to survive that daily regimen is immense. Which, perfectly explains that moment in December 2024 when the Weaver servers practically lagged out.
Oh my gosh, the Lud area incident.
Yes.
For you listening, imagine this. A grainy, unauthorized photo leaks of V at a Lotteria, which is a popular fast food joint in Korea, in Chuncheon. He is in full military uniform.
Yeah.
And the K-Nets completely lost their minds.
Because his visuals were just insanely bulked up.
Literally. He looked like a literal action star grabbing a burger.
The visual contrast is really what makes that photo so viral. You have this global icon, a man you were used to seeing flanked by bodyguards, modeling Celine or Bottega Veneta on a runway, caught in this incredibly mundane setting with a plastic tray. But he is physically transformed. That rigorous SDT training completely altered his silhouette.
It's that parasocial shift, When an idol enlists, they transition from this untouchable, highly curated star into a vulnerable private. The fandom's brain just sort of short circuits when they see them doing something as normal as ordering fast food, but looking like a super soldier while doing it.
Totally. And it wasn't just V. In February 2024, a photo of RM drops.
Oh, the band uniform.
Yeah. He is standing there in this brilliant red, heavily braided military band uniform, holding a saxophone. He looked so distinguished, like he stepped right out of a historical K-drama.
It's the discipline of the military uniform combined with just the innate charisma these artists possess. The military strips away the makeup, the styling teams, the stage lighting. What you are left with is just the raw presence of the person.
And when that presence is as strong as RM's or V's, it creates a visual impact that completely transcends your typical celebrity update.
And that raw presence was on full display during their official discharge on Juneteenth. HYBE had released Weaver statements literally begging fans not to visit the base for safety.
Right. They pointed out that multiple regular soldiers were being discharged that same day.
Yeah, so a massive crowd would disrupt the whole local area. But, the sheer gravitational pull of these artists makes it nearly impossible to stop a gathering. The emotional weight of that 18-month wait meant fans were always going to show up.
And they did, but the scene itself was just pure cinematic joy. V steps out first, holding these massive floral bouquets, looking a little overwhelmed, but just deeply happy.
And then RM, in just the most classic Kim Namjoon fashion imaginable, puts on a dramatic impromptu saxophone performance right there for the reporters in the RMI.
That saxophone performance is such a brilliant detail. It wasn't just a funny, off-the-cuff moment. It was like a subtle flex of the skills he honed during his service. It was a bridge between Private Kim Namjoon in the military band and the global superstar RM. They reclaimed their narrative the exact second they stepped out of those gates.
I love that framing. I was thinking about this, and military enlistment essentially acts as a mandatory K-drama training arc for idols.
Wait, that is such a good way to put it.
Right, you send them away, and they come back as literal action stars. Like, why do K-pop visuals always seem to level up during service?
It is the ultimate glow-up.
But being at the absolute top of the industry means walking around with a massive target on your back. Wait until you hear the shocking controversies that broke the internet during their service, including a PX shopping spree that literally broke a cash register.
That was wild.
But real quick, if you love staying updated on your biases, make sure you're subscribed to StarScope K-Report because we've got even bigger scoops ahead. So let's unpack this. Did RM and V's military mates exploit their kindness?
Yeah, the favoritism wish hunt. So let's start with RM's PX spree. He generously gave his credit card to soldiers in another platoon so they could buy some snacks at the PX, which is the post-exchange store.
Which on the surface is a very standard military bonding gesture, right? A senior or wealthier soldier treating the younger guys.
Exactly. But they ended up spending a whopping 660,000 Korean won.
Wait, that's roughly $500 on snacks?
Yeah, they bought over 100 items. We're talking snacks, daily necessities, and notably an absolute mountain of snail cream.
Okay, 660,000 won on snacks and lotion sounds ridiculous. Why snail cream of all things?
So to understand this, you really have to understand South Korean PX culture. The military PX sells high-end K-beauty products, specifically things like snail mucin moisturizers, at heavily subsidized rates.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's this massive cultural tradition for young soldiers to buy these skincare products in bulk to ship back home as gifts for their mothers or girlfriends.
So they basically saw the black card and treated it like a Black Friday sale.
Pretty much. But the sheer volume of the transaction was so massive that it literally crashed the PX cash register system. The software just couldn't handle it.
No way.
It caused such a scene that RM actually had to formally apologize to his squad leader after being questioned about the disruption.
I cannot even imagine the panic of breaking a military cash register with a pop star's credit card. But, while that was a funny misunderstanding, things took a much darker turn with V.
Oh, the YouTube creator situation.
Yeah. So a creator who trained with V at the Army Training Center started uploading reels detailing their private military life. He was sharing stories about, like, going to church with V on Christmas, talking about his real-life personality, very personal stuff.
And this is where we see the intense friction between military camaraderie and idol fandom dynamics. Domestic K-nets and international fans mobilized almost instantly, and they were furious.
They felt boundaries were being completely crossed.
Right. The overwhelming sentiment was that this creator was taking V's kindness for granted and exploiting his proximity to a superstar for YouTube clout.
I have to jump in here and analyze this because the parasocial dynamic is fascinating. Think about how a stan fandom operates. They are fiercely protective, almost like an older sibling.
Totally.
And when an idol is in the military, that protective instinct kicks into overdrive because the idol is out of the public eye and essentially defenseless against regular people. But here is the massive plot twist. V was completely fine with it.
He was more than fine. He actually actively encouraged it. When the creator was getting flooded with hate comments and publicly stated he would stop uploading, V literally told him, why? Go make it more widely known. It's fun.
He even left a lengthy comment on June 3rd defending the guy. He jokingly worried the creator was doing bench presses under stress from reading all the hate.
Which is so funny.
Right. But for you listening, V is an adult capable of setting his own boundaries. So where is the line between a fandom lovingly protecting an artist and toxic policing of an adult's life and friendships?
That is the core tension of the Hallyu Wave right there. Fans feel a deep connection, but that protective instinct can easily blind them to the reality that the idol might actually be thriving. V had to step in to de-escalate his own defenders.
And the favoritism allegations didn't stop there. We have to bring in the explosive interview where former Adore CEO Min Hee-jin claimed V texted her for her birthday.
Oh, this was huge. Her birthday is December 16th.
Right. And V enlisted on December 11th. So the timeline suggested he was texting from a basic training center where personal phone usage is strictly prohibited during the initial phase.
The outrage from Kanitz got so loud, people were accusing him of getting VIP celebrity treatment. It got so bad that the South Korean Ministry of National Defense actually had to step in.
Imagine being a high-ranking military official having to draft an official press release about a pop star sending a birthday text.
I mean, it sounds absurd, but fairness in the military is a highly sensitive political issue in South Korea. The ministry had to formally clarify the facts. They officially stated that V used his phone during designated weekend afternoon hours, which is permitted for all trainees under that sender's guidelines.
So he received zero special privileges.
Exactly.
Speaking of controversies that forced official statements, RM faced an international misunderstanding that almost derailed his reputation, while V was accused of participating in military propaganda. The drama gets darker right after this.
Yeah, the heavy price of the crown. The stakes get substantially higher when global politics and historical symbols enter the chat.
Let's look at the immense ideological clash surrounding V's propaganda debate. V appeared in a promotional video for the 2nd Army Corps, specifically for his Double Dragons unit.
And the visuals were intense. He was in his black SDT tactical uniform, wearing a balaclava, expertly firing heavy weapons.
It was a highly produced, cinematic promotional spot, but it triggered an immediate and profound fracture within the global fandom. If you were watching this unfold online, you saw a massive ideological clash happening in real time.
Right, because on one side, you had deep outrage from fans arguing that this contradicted BTS's long-standing messaging. This is the group behind the massive UNICEF Love Myself anti-violence campaign.
Exactly. For those fans, seeing a UN peace envoy firing an assault rifle in a promotional video felt like a betrayal. They felt he was highlighting forced conscription.
But then you have to impartially report the other side. A massive contingent of fans defended his participation, citing South Korea's geopolitical reality.
Right. South Korea is a nation technically still at war.
Exactly. Regional tensions are a daily reality. So from this perspective, military service is a fundamental duty of citizenship. Participating in unit pride is seen as serving with honor.
It put V right in the center of an impossible global debate. And I want you to consider the immense psychological weight of being a global ambassador. It's like walking a razor-thin tightrope where half the global audience is using binoculars just waiting for you to slip.
And RM was walking that same tightrope. In January 2025, he faced a misunderstanding that could have permanently ruined his international reputation.
Oh, the badge controversy.
Yeah. A photo of RM in his military uniform began circulating online, and international netizens quickly zeroed in on a specific symbol on his uniform. To Western eyes, devoid of cultural context, it looked alarmingly like a Nazi swastika.
The internet was ready to cancel him on the spot. But let's provide the factual breakdown here. It was absolutely not a swastika in the Nazi context.
Not at all.
It was a straight-standing Buddhist symbol known as the manji. It represents prosperity, harmony, and spirituality. RM was wearing it because he was actively overseeing religious duties as a military chaplain at the time.
The manji symbol predates its misappropriation by thousands of years. It's entirely sacred. But on social media, nuance is often the first casualty.
But this is where the fandom really shines. The Army quickly mobilized to educate the internet. Thousands of decentralized fans created translation threads and built highly stylized infographics explaining the history of the manji symbol.
They essentially acted as a massive crisis management firm.
Yeah, they manipulated algorithms to ensure these educational posts outranked the misinformation. They turned a potential scandal into a massive global lesson on Asian culture and history.
It really requires a level of mental fortitude that is rarely acknowledged for these idols. They are under a global microscope 24/7, even while trying to serve their country.
But through the witch hunts, the debates, and the viral moments, the boys survived. And now they are back. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a KT update as this historic comeback unfolds.
The King's return. The timeline for this ultimate reunion is moving incredibly fast. Jin is already out. RM and V just had their grand discharge.
And the rest of the Maknae line is right behind them, right?
Yes. Jimin and Jungkook finished their service on June 11th, with Suga following on June 21st.
The comeback hype is unreal. If you look at the HYBE headquarters in Seoul, they've wrapped the building in massive banners reading, "We are back," in preparation for the 12th anniversary BTS Festa.
It's basically an all-kill of the entire news cycle. HYBE CEO Lee Jae-sang has talked about their vision moving forward. He noted the typical path involves song production, then an album release, and finally touring.
Right. Reflecting on the last 18 months, it really proved their unshakable star power. Even while locked in military bases, they completely dominated global pop culture news.
They don't even need to be releasing music to be the biggest story in the world.
Which leaves us with a fascinating thought to mull over. Now that the members have faced the intense realities of military service, navigated massive global scrutiny entirely on their own, and lived as regular citizens, how will this profound shift in life experience transform the actual music and lyrics of their next highly anticipated album?
That evolution is going to be something truly special to witness.
You've been listening to StarScope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu Wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.